Hey, welcome and hello. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific. They call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're playing drums on your car's steering wheel, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Oh, yeah. That's some of the best music I've played is steering wheel dashboard drums.
Yeah.
You betcha.
Yep. Right there with Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah. Way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phil Collins and I, we're like this. I'm the one over here.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. Tonight, though, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the mystery caches. Part 2. End of the trilogy. As always, live audience, tell us what you want to know. Tell us what you have to say. Share your experiences with mystery caches. Give us your questions, interactions, that stuff. Like you do. Like I see scrolling over there. Good job. Keep it up. Before we jump into all that, though, we have to bring in our troublesome Tamarind. Some say he has a fanny pack for each day of the week. And others say he has ridden to ground zero on the back of a moose. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
There's the mute button.
I was going to say, do I need to read it again?
I just, thought I'd make everybody feel like they're at work by sitting here looking for the mute button. All right. Hey, yeah. And when that moose goes away, well, that's when it's called a vamoose.
Vamoose.
There you go. Anyhow, quick reminder at this point of the podcast. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, it was a little late. I got there though.
Better bait than never. Okay. Quick reminder that we appreciate the support of all of you patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a special thanks to our corporate Denali level sponsors. That is Land Sharks. Reminder of their new. Sorry.
I think it's just an echo. Go ahead.
Oh, hearing my own voice echoing in my head, along with all that advice I'm getting in my head that nobody else can hear. All right. New store hours at the Land Sharks. Remember that if you're visiting, if you're visiting this summer, it's not summer anymore.
That was last week.
I don't know if they still have their new store hours. We're gonna check in on the Land Sharks and we're gonna find out what's going on there. But as far as we know, still not open on Saturdays. But you know what? One thing you can do is check it all out on landsharkz.ca, where you'll find everything from their travel adventures to their products, geocaching products and outdoors products. And of course, our other Denali level sponsor, who we probably also should get an update on from some point in time, but that is Gold Country Geotourism. Visit exploregoldcountry.com, learn about the geotours, learn about the region. Do not forget to download the app. If you do, just check with Jim, find out what happens.
What happens?
Well, I come to your house and take your phone.
Oh, that's right. I'd show it to you, but it's gone. See?
Right?
Came to his house and took it.
So if you want Land Monkey to visit you.
Yeah, except I come in the dark of the night, take your phone, download the app, and then return your phone a week later.
He's like the tooth fairy or the anti-phone fairy.
That's right. All right. Anyways, I'm sure that's like just really terrible stuff. But anyways, hey, if you want to know more about supporting this here show, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
I don't know about you two.
What don't you know?
Anything really. The anti-phone fairy, that's not good.
Well, it's not the tooth fairy. It's not the phone fairy because
the phone fairy would bring you a phone, right? Well, no, the tooth fairy takes a tooth.
Takes the tooth. So, okay. So
it is like the phone fairy.
Maybe it's the phone fairy.
Not to be confused with, the transportation method for getting your phone over to Vashon Island.
The phone ferry?
Yeah.
It's just a very small boat.
Yeah. So what are we doing here?
I
Not
don't
getting any better.
know.
I'm pretty sure I read my part, but I
You're
might
right.
be wrong.
Well, since Land Monkey has done his part,
Yeah.
let's just leave him out of the rest of the podcast, and we're going to talk about glows. That, my friends, is the geocaching log of the week.
I didn't even ask.
Well, not everybody does ask.
That's true.
But if one were to ask, what would one say?
I don't have any clue because.
What's a glow?
Oh, that's it. I've heard that somewhere. What is a glow?
Oh,
Do
you
tell.
too. The glow is the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can call in to 253-693-TFTC and show us how you glow. Now, the phone lines are no longer on fire as they were in the previous weeks, but it's still there if you want to call in.
All right. People are talking about us going off the rails, and this Prairling says, we have rails? I don't think we ever even had rails. But anyway, the glow. Taking a trip to Non Sequitur Town? Yes, I am. That's what we're doing. Let's see. This week's glow. This is quite the glow, quite the cache.
Mm-hmm.
The log was from 2008, so just a few weeks ago. Times 100 or 10 or something.
Times 52, actually.
Yeah. This cache is a Jasmer, October 2000, a Fizzy, it's a 2-4, and a Degree Confluence cache, all in one. It's from Cody Hollow Farm, and that's GC7B, like Bravo. So, old cache.
That's it?
October 2000, yeah, GC7 Bravo.
Wow.
This was sent in from Gary Lee. He says his caching name, and I'm going to mangle this, but I'm going to do it. It's Bedsteffer Skule. I have no idea if that's pronounced correctly or not.
It's perfect.
That's how
from the way I would read it.
Yes.
I've not heard it pronounced, so I can't help you.
From Arizona. So contributes and says he appreciates our content. So we appreciate you sending it in. So the log from Cody Hollow Farm in 2008 says, I'm not even sure where to begin on this one. When I was told about it before the Yuma adventure, I was like, oh yeah, sounds great. Then late November, gallbladder was removed rather urgently. Having had a gastric bypass a few years before, there were a few small hiccups that impeded my recovery time. And at this writing, I'm slowly coming off light duty at work and thought, I could do this. Holy mother of pearl, this was a test of one step at a time, and I was like that little engine that could. We drove the rental 4x4 as far as we could before being stopped by a road that had changed by a flash flood or something, and we didn't want to test our luck any further. So we hiked the last almost 2 miles to the parking waypoint, and from there it was a measly 0.8, right? Have I mentioned SNOD yet? SNOD, the spiky needles of death. Very limeish green hue, and they will fling themselves at you and impale you. Here's where I also mentioned I forgot my hiking pants. I was wearing cargo shorts. After seeing a friend get impaled, I started avoiding them. I don't know if he avoided the friends or the snod, but
probably a little of both.
Maybe a little of both. That led to over 24,000 steps for the day and 224 flights of stairs climbed, according to my Fitbit Versa 2. We zigged, we zagged, we rested, we took photos. We enjoyed fighter jets flying overhead, and I was able to snag pictures and video as well. We saw friendly and scared cows, even deer and rabbits. Now, envisioning being trapped overnight on the mountain, I was thinking, how can I capture one of those rabbits for dinner? But thankfully, I didn't have to resort to that. Have I mentioned the road to Hades yet? Definitely do not attempt this without a high clearance vehicle and be prepared to have every bone in your body adjusted by Mother Nature's terrain. I sure slept good last night, but I think I need a professional adjustment when I get home. All in all, this cache was amazing. Oh, there's absolutely no reception there. So download an offline list and let someone know where you're going, because there's no trail, no markers, no good way to approach this other than sheer determination and grit. If you're a princess type cacher, stay home. Don't waste emergency resources trying to save you. Seriously, this sucker was hard. And we had a group of 6 with the motto, no one left behind, and we stuck together. If you're not reasonably healthy or afraid of heights, yeah, don't attempt it. Was it worth it? Heck yeah. Would I do it again? Sure. But I'd hire a helicopter to drop me down to avoid that hike up and up and up and then down to retrieve and sign and then do it all in reverse. But you do you. It's an adventure you'll remember, and this will go on my top 10 list of all-time favorite caches. Best day ever doing this, and best part of all, doing it with friends.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
And coming off of surgery and doing this.
Beware the snod.
I like the snod. Yeah. I don't know if the snod exists.
I haven't heard that. Oh, go ahead.
By the way, Kitty Quest says Cody Hollow Farm is a she.
Oh, I mistook it to be the name of the cache.
I did as well.
Oh, there you go. And that's hard to know at times. So
yes, but I can pronounce. At least I believe I can pronounce Cody Hollow Farm better than I could have pronounced Bedstefferskule.
Fair enough.
I think you're doing a good job on both, to be honest.
You did a really good job. This, that was quite the adventure to that cache. Speaking of the snod thing, I am curious if that's like some sort of pine needle or cactus needle. So,
being Arizona, I'm going to guess a form of cacti. But
yeah. Interesting. All right. Well,
so there you have it.
Never heard that acronym before, but I don't cache in Arizona. I have, but very, very little.
There's I am. Where we're going, we don't need trails.
No, but we could use a helicopter.
Yeah, to at least drop us in.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, I want to say, and I echo Seebeck Tribe here, it was really good to meet and talk with everyone last Saturday at the Cachers Across Borders event. When I was looking at the will attend, I thought this is kind of like a CNW event, a Caching in the Northwest event, because almost all of our patrons are there.
That's great.
Yeah, we did line up and get a patron's photo. And there were a couple of patrons that were working, so I went and did special photos just with them. But thank you all for, indulging me, and I'm just happy to see you all again.
Nice. Well, glad you could make it there, Chris.
Yeah.
I would have been there, but we had a little trip planned.
Little. Mr. 15K, was it?
No, it was our 30,000th.
30,000. 30,000. 15 for each of you.
Yeah, 15 each. That makes sense. So celebrated that caching milestone, but had a really wonderful weekend away at a little community in the Okanagan, and I'll be sharing more about it in the future. But just want to remind people that even though they had the big forest fires, the Okanagan is open for business. Lots of great places to stay. Lots of great caching. Beautiful, beautiful country to go geocaching in.
Well, congrats on the milestone. I'm glad you had a good trip. Glad you came home safely.
Yeah, for a change, we came home safely from a road trip.
And back in the day, you used to be a different state, province, locality, whatever for each milestone. Are you running out of those, or is that?
There's a few things like we would know that we had a trip coming up, so then we'd be trying to get a lot of little road trips in to kind of run up the numbers so that we hit the milestone on that trip and such. And yes, it was a different state, province, or country for every 1,000, up to 20,000. Once
Okay.
we hit 20,000, then it was just like, well, wherever it is. But what we do try and do is a different cache type. So this time it was the locationless GC9
Wow.
Fave.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's so fave.
right. So,
But I have to admit, I'm amazed at the facilities at the border for meeting rooms. I only knew of the.
is it a really small meeting room that you go in? There's just like a table and a chair there.
Well? There's
Their
those,
light
yes.
bulb.
There are those, and you get to have a nice heart-to-heart talk with just one, maybe two people.
Step into this meeting room, sir.
Sorry, Chris. Go on.
And I mean, if you're lacking human touch, that's a way to maybe get that need met. Because, well, anyway, yes, exactly. I guess it's not human touch; it's more latex. But anyway. I only knew of the American Kitchen, right? So 3-4 years ago, there was Cashers. Was it Cash Across the Borders?
I think it was Hands Across the Border.
Hands Across the Border. There we go with the hands again.
Mm-hmm. Getting handsy, yeah.
And it was in the facility was called the American Kitchen. And so I just blindly drove there thinking, oh, this is where it must be. And we get there and we're like, nobody's setting up yet. It does say private event. Well, that would qualify. And then I look at the cache page and we're still a quarter mile away. Let's keep walking. And it was across the lines and kind of on, you can't call it the Canadian side because that's no man's land, but it was more Canadian than American. It was the other side of the Peace Arch.
I call that the Canadian side.
I was going to say, I didn't know there was a no man's land, but
or maybe it's the neutral zone.
Neutral zone. There you go. Yeah. So between the two border checks, right?
Right.
The two stations there's kind of that no man's land in between.
Neutral zone.
Neutral zone. Sorry. The border zone.
I just like the Star Trek affiliation with using the term.
Fair enough.
Zone.
Yeah. But that implies, well, I guess they both imply hostile forces.
Easy for you to say.
Now that's more Klingon. The neutral zone was with the Romulans.
Oh, it was with the Romulans, wasn't it? Yeah. Boy. There you go.
So there you go. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Star Trekking in the Northwest.
That's all you're going to get.
Only going forward, still can't find reverse.
But the facilities there were fantastic. And I thought very nice. And, of course, you get to meet all the friends and do all the things and get the virtual, which somehow I'd never got before. So I was able to claim that virtual. Anyway, enough of that, folks. We're nearly halfway through the show.
Good.
And we thought we should talk about our content tonight, mystery caches or puzzle caches, part 2.
Well, before we do that, you had a news story that I think is kind of an interesting one. Can we talk about the news story?
We should talk about the news story, but if you want to add something to our content tonight, I'm going to give you the hashtag now so you can start thinking about it. Use hashtag mystery. And of course, you can use hashtag FATAS to bring up anything for the after show, as we've already seen people do, and I've pulled it into the regular show and totally destroyed the whole purpose of the hashtag FATAS.
Hence the off the rails comment earlier.
That was
we continue to run
okay.
off the rails. Yes.
We can continue to go farther off the rails.
Yes. I can hardly even see the rails anymore.
So we get the opportunity to go explore the Pacific Northwest with the Northwest Trolls Adventures. Have you seen the trolls? Have you heard about the trolls?
Heard about it, yeah.
Yeah. And this is not, the type of troll that you get when you're on a highway. That's a toll. These are different. These are trolls.
Or on the internet.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you.
This fall, Geocaching HQ is partnering with Scan Design Foundation to place adventures at 6 hand-built giant troll sculptures across the Pacific Northwest. The publicly accessible, okay, that they are, but some of them require a lot more work to get to than others.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just funny because it's the pretty close concentration in the SeaTac area. With one in Oregon.
They're whimsical troll structures that include a special 10-location story-driven adventure lab from Ole Bole.
That's what I would say.
In Portland, Oregon, to Pia the Peacemaker on Bainbridge Island, to Jacob Two Trees in Issaquah, Washington. The Northwest Trolls tell a tale of protecting nature and honoring the land and waterways. In Nordic mythology and folklore, the trolls are known to be fierce protectors of nature.
All right.
That's how they say it too, Chris.
Yes.
Nature.
West Coast goes, how many in Canada? I think I know the answer already.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, you know what is cool though? And there was a news story from geocaching.com in their newsletter about this. I read through it and I thought, this is inspiring. I'm thinking maybe a road trip to visit all 6. It's with never mind any other caches around those. That's 60 finds between those 6 locations, and they're in neat locations. Like getting over to Bainbridge Island and what's the other island? There's one on
Whidbey.
South.
No.
Yeah, and there's a great website for it too, Chris. Thank you. That'll really help you plan if you want to.
Portland, Bainbridge, West Seattle, Vashon.
Vashon, that's the other one.
Ballard and Issaquah.
Issaquah.
Yeah.
Issaquah.
And by the way, we'll put this out to the chat for their votes, but I just got to thinking, I wonder what the collective noun for trolls is. I've come up with, through a Google search, an outcrop of trolls, a terrible of trolls, an avalanche of trolls, and a grumbling of trolls. I'm not sure which one I like best. Grumbling is pretty good.
Grumbling is quite good, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's pretty
Seabeck got to see Pia the Peacekeeper on Bainbridge Island last Monday.
Yeah, I saw her post some pictures of that. That looked cool. That was partly inspiring to me as well, that you can get out and visit them. And they're massive.
Yes.
And so I would suggest, and I mean, here's the thing, that kind of art made of recycled wood materials and such, it's not built with the intent that it's going to last many, many years. It's built with the intent that it is going to return to nature. So I would encourage people that if they're thinking of going to check these out, like try and plan it for fall or spring, because who knows how long they'll last. Besides, fall and spring are beautiful times to explore around the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, very much so. It's not snowy yet. It's not as hot, especially over here on the dry side of the mountain range. It's not as hot right now. So this is a great time of year.
There you go.
Well, here, I'm going to share this one more time, screen share here, just to give you an idea of how large they are. People are standing in front of them, so they're at least 12 feet tall.
Look at those little tiny people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe that's what it is.
Just a bunch of kids.
So they look to be 12 feet tall, 6 feet wide, probably soft as a downy chick.
Made from the feathers of 40 living geese.
Took a whole bowl of cloth for the tick.
Grandma's feather troll.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, hey, since we're through the newsy stories now, and we are almost halfway through the podcast, let's talk about those mystery caches. It's a mystery what we're going to talk about some nights. Tonight, we're talking about mysteries. Kind of fitting. What do we know about mysteries?
I don't know. I'm looking at the chat here.
Well,
any bets when they'll get back on track?
No.
Not
the trolls were quite mysterious.
Not a safe bet to take.
No.
Okay.
We had a good chat in the last episode about
Mhm.
puzzle solving. Chris, you had put together a whole lot of great tips for us to go through. Do you remember where we left off? Did you?
Well, yes, some of the things to remember, you know, puzzle caches are both challenging and rewarding, right? Research the puzzle type. There are different puzzle types. They could be Sudoku, crosswords, cryptograms, logic puzzles. So get to know what type of puzzle you're solving.
So let's riff off that one for a moment, if you don't mind, because I think that's interesting. Because sometimes it's really obvious. You look at it and it's like, okay,
Right.
that's a crossword or that's a Sudoku, because I can visually see that type of puzzle. But sometimes the puzzle is hidden in the page. It's not obvious what it is. But if the cache has the question mark, that's the key for you, that there, if the icon for the cache is a question mark, if it's a mystery type cache, there is something you need to do to get the final coordinates.
Right. And I think the majority of puzzle and mystery caches start off with the cache is not at these coordinates, or these are not the real coordinates.
Right.
Something to tell you that, hey, this really isn't it. Don't go here.
You said they can be both challenging and rewarding, and I was just going to throw out they could also be frustrating. Apparently, GSM times 2 also thinks that, because he says, how many people filter to just avoid puzzle caches?
I think it depends on your area. Like if you've got some folks in your area who hide puzzles that are just like uber mensa level, and you're like, and it's frustrating for you, then yeah, I get why you would do that. I find in our area there's a real mix, probably where you guys are as well. I would guess there's a spectrum. So take a look at them and make a decision. But it's a fair point. GSM times 2 asks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it. But all kidding aside, not every type of caching is for everybody. So if they're not your thing, that's why filters are there.
Yeah, and maybe you just want to get into trackables and avoid puzzles altogether.
That's a different episode, though.
Oh, sorry. I didn't go back far enough. Let me go back to the puzzles that we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Check for hidden information. Sometimes the puzzle may not contain all the necessary information to solve it. Sometimes it'll all be right there on the page. It could be in hidden text. It could be in the HTML underlying text. It could even be in the, what do they call it? The associated cache page. Associated web page.
Yeah.
Right. How many people just don't even look right at that and skip down because it's usually right there at the top of the description.
Is it what it's called? Related web page?
Related web page. There you go.
Now I have to go look. Anyways.
No, even though they're right in plain sight, sometimes you don't see them.
Yeah.
So related web page. An option that's no longer available for new mystery caches. How about that? I didn't know.
Well,
there goes my options for my puzzle caches. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Some relatives are no longer available.
Bring back old geocaching. I don't like this new geocaching.
They don't make them like they used to. They changed it all. It's terrible now.
And get off your lawn.
Yes.
Oh, so look in the cache description, the hint, or even the cache name, right? So these hints can provide valuable insights. Collaborate, work with other people. You know what? Maybe if you're having a lot of trouble solving one mystery cache, hold an event and have other people and make it a mystery solving event and say, oh, by the way, since you're here, I'm having trouble with this one.
Yeah, we talked a fair bit, and there was a fair bit of feedback from our live audience in the last puzzle episode we did a couple episodes back, where they were talking about all kinds of different ways that they collaborate with others. So yeah,
there you go. And of course, ask for hints. If the cache owner doesn't want to give you a hint, okay, that's possibly their right.
It's possibly.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but that could be their right to do that.
Possibly.
But reach out and see if they'll give you a nudge without giving it away.
Sure.
Sorry, it just really amused me that as the cache owner, that's maybe you're right not to give me a hint. I'm not convinced it is.
Oh, I'm definitely not convinced.
Pretty sure you need to give me a hint. Sorry,
Well,
Chris. That just stuck
yeah.
the funny bone.
Here's my hint. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Oh, too funny.
So,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
moving on from that.
Yes.
Can we even?
No.
Okay. Sure, we can.
Take
We
some
covered-
time
Yeah.
and analyze the puzzle components,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are you working with numbers? Are you working with letters, symbols, elements, right?
Like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, there you go. Or music.
Ah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire brought that up.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, there was a cache around here that dealt with musical notes.
What?
Classical. What was it called?
You'll think of it. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't live there anymore.
Oh yeah. Sorry. You're the one that
Feels like
helped
kind
me
of a
solve it.
you problem.
Oh, definitely.
Classical gash or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
So yeah, you could also check out the language, linguistics. Sometimes foreign languages will come into play, or sometimes just creative letters and words from the English language, anagrams, acrostics, wordplay. If you're good at crossword puzzles, well, good on you, first off. But they might come in handy, those skills, solving a geocache. You never know. Unusual capitalization or spelling errors in the puzzle might just be a hint and not a mistake.
I'm getting some ideas for new puzzle caches as we go through.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Online solvers. I don't remember all the ones that were mentioned last time, but there were some great sites that were thrown into the chat last time that I meant to write down or bookmark because I thought, ooh, I'm going to go check that out last time.
Geocaching Toolbox.
There you go.
Yes. It's a good site.
Very good one.
So,
But I mean, if you're looking at a Sudoku, for example, there are, I'm going to say hundreds of Sudoku solvers online.
oh yeah.
You can put in one or two numbers, it seems, and it will crank through and solve it. So
Mhm.
They work to varying degrees.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Depending on the Sudoku you're trying to solve, some Sudokus have are designed in a way that the solvers aren't as much help.
I think I mentioned it.
Really good at this.
I followed a computer security person online,
Mhm.
and they said, "Here, I'm going to have a meetup, but you have to solve this puzzle to find out where it is." And I looked at it and I go, "Oh, that's a form of a rotation cipher."
Okay.
You know, I could look at it and say, "No, it's not rot 13," but I took that text, put it into a rotation, and just, you know, click down from 13, 14. It was 19. It was rot 19. Oh,
Just
look,
keep
there's the text.
shifting until it
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
That's definitely one way. That's where the online solvers and the tools
Yeah.
really can save a lot of time as
Mhm.
opposed to writing everything out and then, writing everything out 26 different times before you come up with the right solution.
Right. And sometimes
Well,
those
rot
tools,
26 doesn't work well.
Well, okay.
I can read it pretty well.
Okay. Fair point.
I can even cold read that.
I think you knew what I meant.
But I was going to say, sometimes those tools, even maybe you've already solved it, but you can use the tools to confirm whether your solution was accurate or not.
Yeah. Another option is reverse engineering. This is one that I tend to try and use as a starting point.
Yeah.
But try working backwards from what you think the coordinates likely should be to decipher the puzzle. It can be useful if you have some known digits. And that's where I'm saying, because a puzzle has to be within, 2-3 kilometers of the icon, at least newer ones. Now, if you're looking at one word that's really old, all bets are off. But if
Right.
you're looking at one in the last, I don't know, let's say 8 to 10 years, the final has to be within 2 to 3 kilometers of the icon. So what that means is that you're north and west, or north and east, or south and east, or south and west, depending where you are on the globe when you're listening to this podcast. But those degrees are not going to change.
Mhm.
There you go, 3.2 kilometers or 2 miles. Thank you very much, Marlene. And they do require a checker now. Yes, thank you, GSM.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Mhm. They require it.
Well, and HQ now provides a checker, which is super duper cool because it makes it easier as a puzzle owner. Like, yeah, okay, we'll just use their checker. Anyways, yeah, and so in doing that, you can kind of say, okay, well, I know those. So if it's like if it's a cipher, let's say, and a substitution cipher where it's rando symbols, not even like a shift, but like just random symbols. You're like, oh gosh, I don't know, but it has like 15 things, and
Right.
okay. So you can start to reverse engineer it. We often have solved, Laura and I both, just through reverse engineering and well, I think the next topic, brute force, object cipher puzzles. I don't know what the proper term for those is, but when you have just like rando objects,
Yeah.
instead of numbers or words, and like just a whole page of them, it's like, okay, well, it's saying something, and then you just look for patterns. Like, oh, if the word 3 will be like, will look like a certain pattern, right? And you could see it recurring, things like that. So, sometimes it's just that's what you got to do.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Mystery caches do not require a checker. This is a cache owner's choice if they provide one or not. Only challenges require a checker.
Okay.
There you go.
The cache owners, I guess, could put a checker on the page. But
I suppose if they have to.
if they have to.
I guess.
And yeah, like you mentioned, Land Monkey brute force. I've done that where I've solved all but 1 or 2 digits. And I thought, well, we're down to now just a couple of options. Like, so that one's in the middle of the water. It's not that one.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
this is the middle of the freeway. Okay. High difficulty, but possible, but probably not. And, yeah.
It was classical gash.
Oh,
GACHE. And some of those caches may require certain educational resources like music knowledge. Just going to toss that out there because the name of that cache finally came back to mind. It could be history, it could be mathematics or literature, right? If they're using a type of puzzle where they're looking at a book that has known as a pad that has a page number, paragraph, and word, right? You kind of have, and they may just hint to what book that is. It could be a very common book, right? So
there's one we've done in this area that's based on, I don't think I'm giving too much away, and I'm not sure if the puzzle's even out there still, but it's based on the Bourne series of novels. And you needed to get a particular edition of the book because every edition they print, the page numbering might be off,
right,
depending on the size of the font, depending on prologues, epilogues, all this stuff, right? So it's like, that's interesting. That cache has been archived. There you go. That can be really a tricky aspect to those pad ciphers, for sure. The other thing I was going to say, Chris, when you're talking about educational resources, is while Google is almost always your friend, not always, because sometimes people will have a specific website or a specific book from which they have gotten their understanding of the answer. And you can Google it, but that may not be the same answer that is going to give you the coordinates to solve the puzzle. So
exactly.
You may be in for a little surprise. And everybody loves a surprise.
Don't they, though?
right?
I'm shaking my head violently in case you
Oh, I
couldn't hear that
I
online.
wasn't looking up at the screen.
That's what that rattling noise was.
Yeah.
Ah,
Got it. All right. So yeah, educational resources. You might even need to know like Braille, Morse code, or how to read a hollerith card. I did a cache with one of those one time.
A hollerith card.
Yeah. Old
Is that
computer
like
cards.
Old Testament yelling? I
Old-
hollerith at you.
Yeah. Old computer punch cards.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know that's what they were called.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, the chat will let us know.
Seebeck Tribe threw in, what about what 3 words?
I think I have seen a cache with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen that used for where I goes for reverse where I go.
Uh-huh.
Click on translator required. Yes.
When the land monkeys came to visit me in June, I sent them my location with what 3 words.
You did.
Can I get your address? Here's what 3 words. And lat lawn and street address, because that's boring.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. I watched an ad for the new Subaru Outback today, the 2024 Subaru Outback.
Okay.
In navigation, you can use what 3 words
No way.
on the car. Yeah.
That is
I was like,
cool.
what? Somebody's actually using that?
That's interesting. Huh.
Do we all get free Subaru Outbacks to test it out for?
We should.
Will they
I
sponsor
have an
something?
issue with them being a sponsor.
Let's reach out and see.
Yeah.
Just for the what 3 words to make sure that it's accurate.
In fact, I'm gonna throw this out. Hey, Jeep, Subaru's thinking about sponsoring the podcast and giving us all Subarus. So the pressure's on, Jeep.
That's right.
It's up to you.
Hey, Unimog.
Yeah.
I'd like one, please. Oh,
Let's
Jeep
end
and
wins.
Subaru are already in the running, Unimog. So,
that's right.
time's ticking away here. Oh my gosh, that's funny, Jim. That's awesome. Good reference.
Well done.
Mercedes make those, I think. I don't know.
Remember?
I want to say they're Russian.
Those are sick vehicles. Those are.
I mean, yeah, I think they can survive a nuclear holocaust.
probably.
Darren says lots of great ideas in Cully's long How to Puzzle Cache book.
Yeah, I think we
without a
mentioned that in
doubt.
the previous puzzling episode.
Okay.
That is definitely one of the top resources. Is getting Cully's book.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's great that it's spiral bound, so you can open it up to a certain page and leave it there. So, yeah, really nice book. Well done, and it will provide you with huge amounts of resources. Maybe Cully Long is your friend.
Oh, that could be. Well, at the moment, IHAM is my friend because he confirmed that hollerith cards is the correct term for those.
Okay.
And not just at the moment. IHAM's a friend anytime.
Yeah.
Caching in a Unimog is not as fun as it sounds. 3 steps up for every cache.
Yeah, those are beasts. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you'll be in great shape.
I would still do it.
I would too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back on track. Or with a Unimog, we need no tracks. We make our own. Let's see. How about sometimes you need local knowledge?
Yeah.
Right? Because maybe they're talking about a local event or local history or landmarks, right? That everybody in the area just know without really having to go into detail about it. So if you're from out of the area, these things may be completely foreign to you.
Yeah.
So take the time, research the area and the history. That might help.
Okay. First, you go down the road to where Fred's barn burned down about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea I mean, that's called a letterbox hybrid, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
All right. What else we got? Patience and perseverance. Well, that's kind of the key
All right. I'm done.
most of the time. Yeah. Right.
I'm out.
Well, this is the challenge for me as well, Jim. I'm with you on that. Mrs. Monkey has the patience and perseverance. I'm usually the one who will come in with some innovative idea. It's like, oh, that might get you the first number. Okay, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Laura's like, okay, how did you do that? Oh, well, it's just this and this and this. Okay, and then she'll just go at it and keep going and find where I took some other
Okay. I'd
direct.
probably fall somewhere in between those two extremes, but
Oh, she's dogged. Once she gets something or has
yeah,
So-
I don't have that much patience, but
neither do I.
I
I
have
have
a little,
no
sounds like I
patience.
have a little more than you, but
Oh yeah. I am like so easily distracted.
squirrel.
Sorry, what were we talking about? Yeah.
But yeah, they can be challenging. Don't get discouraged. Just call Mrs. Land Monkey and
There you go.
say, hey, can you solve this? Come back with fresh eyes.
J-Car says, I always love when the math is left to right instead of, he says, PEMDAS. So parentheses, is it equals? Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.
I always
in
thought
that order.
mass is what I learned. Brackets, exponents,
Exponent.
division, multiplication, addition, subtraction.
I remember SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent
Sorry,
is opposite
what?
over adjacent.
Squirrel.
Yeah. No.
Bed mass.
Yeah, well, that's what I just said. Bed mass is what, but I've never heard of PEMDAS. I'm going to have to Google that later.
Well, it's parentheses instead of brackets. I think it's the similar thing. So
Exponents. But why the M and the D are
Multiplication over division. Multiplication first.
huh,
I don't know.
huh.
I see those often on social media. What does this equal?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It depends on what the rules are.
Yeah.
Kitty Glass says that M and F are interchangeable for this.
Okay. Maybe it's M and D.
M and D.
There we go.
Multiplication
Yeah,
or
M and D
division.
that is.
Yeah.
So as long as they happen
I
before
wasn't sure what the F she was talking about.
Yeah. And
It was the D.
That's
So-
delightful.
Oh. And I think we mentioned this on the last show. Practice, practice, practice.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice.
Uber.
Okay.
Practice. Practice. Practice.
The more you do them, the more you will see the patterns, and you'll see the puzzles will become easier. So there are puzzles of the day in many different places. I believe there's a geocaching puzzle of the day.
Is there?
I think there is.
And Cully did that for a while. I don't know if he's still doing that.
Maybe he's not, but
'Cause I haven't seen it on my socials.
Well, if you've never read it, you can start going back through the feed now and make it one a day.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it. Our tips, our continuing tips for solving puzzle caches.
Indeed. And a bunch from the live chat.
Is there anything we missed? If there is, let us know in the chat. Let us know by email. You can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Let us know your favorite puzzle solving tips, because perhaps we missed them.
Absolutely. Yes. Anything else we got? I'm scrolling the chat here, so I'm not seeing anything we missed too much, but
I think no.
So GSM times 2 and
there you go.
There you go. Geocaching puzzle of the day. .blogspot.com.
Geocaching puzzle of the day. There you go. So Google geocaching puzzle of the day as one word, and you will probably to that. Sorry, the way that text lined up in our chat threw me off.
GSM times 2 says, my favorite puzzle tip, ignore list.
Oh.
And on that bombshell.
On that bombshell, Starcacher is just joining us. So thank you so much, Starcacher.
Yeah,
Thank you
welcome.
for all the
So long.
answers you've given us tonight.
Indeed, yes, you've been very helpful. Thank you.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed this show as much as we have, because it's been a barrel of laughs. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
I thought we were done. I got stuff to say. I'm going to scroll down in the show notes here. All right.
Take a moment.
Yeah.
We'll be here. Here, let me give you a visual hint.
How about I get a Kit Kat? I could use a break. I want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. And remember, they ship those online orders daily. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com. Do not forget to download the app and enjoy the geotours in that region. We want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Team Squirrel, Groovy, Cool Cow Catchers, and Cachly, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting this podcast, well, head on over and click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website.
Just like Ari, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just Carlo.
Utox, 2 rocks.
Limax.
GSM times 2.
Mountain Bike.
Ooh, geocaches.
Not what 3 words, but green words.
What green words?
Yes. Broncos fan for life.
Gas station tuna.
Trexer.
Dora Moore.
Gorsgot.
Peach of Washington.
M-Nerve.
CRS 98.
The Beepin' Dragon.
Who's older now?
That's right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And for those who might be spilly drinkers, you'll have a wet coaster.
MC3 Cats.
Team Noltex.
Buenos Seattle.
Boomer 365.
Subway Mark.
Kitty Quest.
Just finding our way.
Kev MacD.
Antaeus.
Logwork.
UDAC.
Genies.
Jcar.
Seabeck Tribe.
Al Robrick.
LG 9000.
Segehove.
Flagman.
Camp Clan.
It's tough act to follow, isn't it? How about Nervous Energies?
RAR 285.
Kid Vegas 19.
Skyhawker.
Ackerdock.
Oh, that's me. BC Rockcrawler.
And rounding it out with GeoNav Pro.
Did I throw you off your game, Chris?
No.
No.
He didn't have much
Right.
game to start with.
In complete honesty, I was thinking about Nervous Energies. I just met him this weekend for the first time.
Awesome.
Nice guy. And he wants us to do a coffee giveaway. Are you guys up for some
What does
free
that mean?
coffee?
I don't give much coffee away. I consume it all myself.
Right.
But sure.
Explain coffee giveaway. What does this mean?
Well, I haven't. That's as far as we've gotten.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we should talk about it offline.
He's in the coffee business, and he wouldn't mind doing a contest to give some away to our listeners.
Could we have a special CNW grind
Oh,
or something?
that's
Now we're talking.
witty and yet somehow robust.
It's a blend of 3 different beans,
Oh, there you go.
and it's full of beans.
And it never really goes in the filter. It just ends up all over.
Oh, it's definitely not in the filter.
Oh, folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. So if you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want to talk about. In either case, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or you know what? Buy us a cup of coffee any time of the day or night. Mostly the day, not so much at night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. You can join us live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2023 by Chris Umfenauer. Folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
the after show.
All right. The
You guys have a
things-
filter?
Yeah.
Nope.
I was gonna say the coffee things keep coming in. We got monkey roast.
Monkey roast?
Yeah. Brian Lang says FTF blend, best coffee ever, but IHAM says DNF blend. It leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. That's good. And yeah, wet coaster, as long as it's not the kind where the beans have to pass through a monkey before it's roasted.
Yeah, not a fan.
That cat coffee, I just don't think I
No.
could do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to pass through the monkey that we know here. That's just
No.
wrong.
Neither does the monkey. So yeah, I think we're all aligned there.
Yeah, I don't think the cat likes that coffee either, to be honest.
Indeed.
But DNF, do not filter.
Yeah.
Every show.
Every show.
Hey, here's a big one
What's that?
I
from
saw
my
that.
friend Seabiscuit. Says, I'm down to only 30 away from 5,000. If things work out, it'll happen October 8th.
That's a good day.
Ooh, so it'll be
Ooh.
an Earth cache.
Ooh,
Is
it
that
could be an
Earth
Earth
Cache Day?
Cache. Or should we plan to throw an event for October 8th for her?
Do you have time?
It would have to be like right now, right?
I'm pretty close.
Let's see.
I don't think you do.
No,
No.
it's not. We'd have to go to the 12th if we did it today.
So the 8th is
Sunday.
Sunday, and
Sunday.
exactly the 7th and the 8th should be International Earth Caching Days. So cool. Anyways, congrats, Cedarback Tribe. Pre-congrats, but call it in when you hit your 5,000. Call in the
Yeah.
milestone. We'd love to hear it in your voice. Ooh, Leavenworth at the webcam. Nice. Good milestone. Beautiful,
Oh.
beautiful area.
Okay. Well, I'll be in Leavenworth this weekend in Lederhosen performing with the dance group. Not on the 8th. On the 8th, I'll be performing in Puyallup Fairgrounds, Oktoberfest. So
Awesome, man.
we got some chances to catch Wits End. And
Okay to Beer Fest.
yeah.
Indeed.
Fantastic.
Yeah. 3 weeks through. Last week it was up in Carnation, and Leavenworth this weekend, Puyallup the following. So yeah, come on up. Say hi. Have a beer.
There you go. You get to see him in a non-geocaching environment.
Doing his thing because he's really good at it.
Well, that remains to be seen. Come judge for yourself.
There you go. And
But in case you wanted to know, there are secret geocoin rat lines associated with German dancing. I'm not sure how they all work, but
Delivery complete.
yes, I've received a geocoin through one of these secret rat lines.
Oh yes, I picked up his Tri-Cities geocoin here locally. Delivered it to a dancer friend of mine who works with his wife. I gave it to her. He gave it to him. So
that's too funny. I love
kind
it.
of an underground railroad for geocoins.
That's cool.
Good. Glad it
That's
was
funny
delivered
where the
successfully.
story was going. That's awesome. I love it.
There you have it. So, folks, thank you so much. We like you guys so much. It was good to see you in person. Thankful that you guys are listening to us and interacting with us each and every week. If it was just the three of us talking, this wouldn't be as much fun, but we like spending time with you folk. So until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.